Nancy Rathbun from Completely Quilted. Thank you for purchasing our Be Merry block of the month. I'm going to be demonstrating our month 4, which is our snowflakes, our snowman, and our pinwheel blocks. So you're going to be receiving a kit with labeled fabrics all folded up in nice little envelopes and your patterns. So the first blocks that we're going to be making are our snowflake blocks. Here are our 2 snowflake blocks. So on our first snowflake, our background is this nice teal color, and we'll have an appliqued cream snowflake on that one. And then you're going to make a second snowflake block with a cream background with a teal snowflake appliqued down. And you can use your favorite applique method. I used the same method from our first month of doing a raw edge applique. So those are our snowflake blocks. Block is the next block that we'll complete. The snowman is made up of 3 cream rectangles, and to create the look of a rounded snowman, we're going to take our squares on each corner of our snowman. So I'm working with the large snowman right now, the large bottom snowball, and we'll put a square on each corner. So then we're going to sew from corner to corner on all of these squares. Again, I'm going to mark from corner to corner if you're more comfortable with that, so that you can see clearly where you need to sew. On our 2 other snowman, the middle and the top snowball, these squares here are going to be smaller squares. So I'm going to mark all these. And then I'm going to take them to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew right on that marked line to create our snowball. So I've got all 4 squares sewn to my snowman bottom, and I'm going to press those and then trim away the excess to create the bottom of my snowman. So now I've sewn all of my corner squares to my snowman rectangles. I pressed those and I have trimmed away the excess from the back. So now we're ready to sew our rectangle strips of background to each one of these units to create our strips. So here's our snowman block all sewn together with all of our snowballs and then the top background strip sewn to the top. And now we're ready to position our applique pieces. So I'm just going to peel off that back protective layer, and then we'll be ready to iron those in place and applique them down. So here's my hat, and you can just look at the pattern as a diagram for making him really cute. His little scarf. He'll have a nose, and then his 2 stick arms. So we're going to position those in place, iron them down, applique them, and then your snow block will be finished. Now we're ready to complete our last part of our month 4, which is our 4-patch pinwheel. So you're going to make 2 of these blocks. I already have 1 completed, and I'm going to show you how to put the rest of it together. This block, we're going to make 2 different colored pinwheels and sew them into a 4-patch. So you'll have 2 red pinwheels with this gold accent, and the one that I'm sewing now is going to be 2 green pinwheels with 2 turquoise accents. So these pinwheels are created by sewing half square triangles. You're going to start off with a square, and you'll cut that square in half to create 2 triangle pieces. So you're going to take your green triangle pieces, right sides together with your background triangle pieces, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch seam all the way down. So I'm going to go sew all of these pieces together, and then we'll be ready to sew together our pinwheel block. So you're going to have your pinwheels spinning all the way in the opposite directions, all the way around the blocks. So my first row is going to have 2 background pieces on either side, as well as my bottom row. And then my middle row is going to have 2 background pieces sewn to the center block. So I'm going to take those apart, and I'm just going to move them right over here and sew those together. And this one. So I'm going to wait to press these, and you can see as I press them open and position them, they're all in rows still, the way I put them in the rows this way, and then I'll be ready to sew my next piece to each block. So this one will go like this. Opposite. And then my last background square. Now I'm ready to press this block, and so everything nests very nicely. The center I'm going to press towards the middle block, and on my 2 top rows I'm going to press towards the background fabric. Rows pressed, and they're still held together by my chain stitching, and so that way I can just fold these top and bottom rows over, and the seams nest really nicely. I can sew that little block together. I have a little bit of steam in my Rowenta travel iron, which is a great little iron to have next to your sewing machine, and I made this little ironing pad. So I'm going to press those going away from the center. We have a nice flat little finished block. Complete our pinwheel blocks. So it's sewn just like a 4-patch. You'll sew 1 accent piece to each one of your pinwheels and sew those rows together. So you'll have 2 completed pinwheel blocks. You'll also have your snowman and your 2 snowflake blocks, and so you're done with month 4. Stay tuned for month 5, and thank you for purchasing our Be Merry block of the month.